All right, you should have a perfect circle now because you cut it carefully on the line. And what you're going to do, because you have your perfect circle, is you're going to fold the circle in half. Now, be careful that it's not like this. That's not half. You got to actually get it all the way to the other edge, and the edges should touch. And you should be able to see this tiny little hole that's right there in the middle. So fold it into a taco shape. Okay, now, for the next fold, you're going to want to put your finger right, there was a tiny little hole, I don't know if you observed this, there was a tiny little hole in your circle from where I used the compass. You're going to want to put one finger right on that hole so that you can fold this actually in the middle. And you're going to fold this into a fan, and that tiny little hole should be the very corner bit right there. And this should be perfectly in half. It cannot be like this. If it's like this, it won't work. It needs to be perfectly in half like this. Go ahead and do that now. Everybody needs to be done by the time I get to 0. Okay, the last fold, and after this last fold, we're just going to do a whole lot of paying attention, okay? The last fold, same deal. Once again, you want to make sure you're not accidentally folding like this. You want to make sure that those edges really line up and stay together. Don't fold like that. Don't fold like some other weird things I've seen, like that, and I've seen like that. That's not okay. You want perfectly in half pizza slice. Everybody make a perfectly folded pizza slice. Okay, now you're going to draw shapes on the sides and the side, not on the crust, okay? Each one of your shapes needs to be 2 of your little fingers or one of my big old fat fingers, okay? So you can do geometric shapes like this or organic shapes like this. And sometimes your geometric shapes might surprise you. So see how I've got a finger's width between each shape? Okay? And of course you would have 2 fingers, but you've got littler fingers than me because I've got great big grown-up art fingers. Now do not do tiny little shapes like that. Because these, and you don't want to have like 15 tiny little shapes like this. Because those tiny little shapes like that, here I'll put a wrong side. This is incorrect. So I saw somebody make something like this. And they made these like, they made a whole bunch of like, and then they did this like super intricate little organic shape. I'm like, first of all, that's gonna be really hard to cut. And second of all, these tiny little shapes means all you have is a whole lot of black space and not a lot of color. Because where you have your shape is where you're gonna have your color. So see, I've got these great big shapes here. It's better to have 3 big shapes than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little tiny shapes. All right, so then on this side, I'm gonna do another shape, a nice big shape there, a finger's width or 2 fingers for you guys. I'm gonna do another organic shape here. And then, look, that's only 2 on this side. 3 on this side, totally okay. And then, I'm also gonna do an organic shape, and that's actually just a line, isn't it?
Yeah.
From one side to the other for the middle. All right. Now, I used a white pencil just so that you could see it up on the board. Using a regular colored pencil is just fine. Okay? All right, I'm going to show you what happens when you cut out these great big shapes. Now, to help you make sure that you have appropriate shapes that are sized big enough and that they're spread out far enough and that will look good, after you draw your shape in, you're going to bring it back to me. I'm going to be sitting back at my back table there, and you're going to bring me your drawn out shapes before you cut. That way I can make any corrections or repairs before it becomes a problem, okay? Because I want you to have beautiful, successful artwork. That is my main goal in life. All right, and then, so see, these organic shapes can be kind of tricky and complicated, so don't make your organic shapes too wiggly or it will get too difficult to cut them out. And then my line across there in that little bite corner. Do we throw all that on the floor?
No!
We put all that in the trash can, don't we?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna zoom this back out. And let's see what it looks like when I open it. Oh, I almost forgot most important part. Very most important part. Name and class code on the crust. So on the pizza crust is where your name and class code goes. Okay? Again, just a regular pencil will do. I will let you open these up, but then you have to fold them back up to store them. And what you will see is it is a radial pattern. Do you see? Now what happened to my triangle?
What?
My triangle turned into a diamond. And my rectangle turned into a
Square.
That's right. And that shape turned into a
Heart.
yes. And then my two organic shapes did fun or my three organic shapes did fun things too. But just be careful because, and then you've got to fold it back up, which is sometimes a little tricky. But if you just let the paper go where it wants to, you can usually fold it right back up. But you can see how my rectangle turned into a square and my triangle, when drawn like that, turned into a diamond. Because really, you're just drawing half of a shape. And when you open it up, you get that full shape. Okay? Now. All right, so you've got this clear piece of plastic with a circle drawn on it. And you're going to take your brush and you're just going to very carefully and thoroughly paint glue all inside the circle. You do not have to paint the whole square, just inside the circle. And you're going to paint in that glue, and this is a watered down glue, so it will spread out fairly easily. Paint the whole thing in. All right, and then you're going to get these squares of tissue paper. You get a little box of it, and you just need a little handful, and you just drop it. There is no reason for you to get your fingers messy at all, because you're just going to drop it. You're not going to touch the glue. You're just going to drop those on just like that. And once it is all on there and completely covering your whole circle, then you're going to take your glue and you're going to very gently paint the glue on the top, just like this. Gently pat it on, painting the glue on top.
And the last step is to carefully, with your name side up, lay on your black and just with your fingers go around and push the black part down onto that glue. Again, your fingers should not get messy or gluey at all. If you do it very carefully, you'll be just fine.